Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today we're going into the brand new event, Zendikar Landfall. So this event is the newest from the Planecation, and if you win, you get yourselves some, I think it's called Rise of the Eldrazi, that set? I don't remember. I never played during that time, but you get those basics, as well as obviously the 1000 XP for your free level, so if you're not really that interested in this event, at least play the first win of the day. But all the way up to the 6th, you get your John Avon Unglued Land, which is also pretty sweet. I believe this is the last one, so that's a full collection of full arts for those who want to enjoy it. But anyway, what are we going to be playing today? We're going to be playing a Pretty Flowers deck, because this format is very, very, very rampant with Scape Shift. So what you have to do in this format is you just have to put in a card that hates on Scape Shift, and I don't know many better cards that are more in tune with that kind of format than Blood Sun whenever the game loads. There we go. Alright, we managed it. Yep, Blood Sun, which is a 3 mana enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, you draw a card, and also all lands lose all abilities except for mana abilities. So basically, your shock lands stop shocking, your Lotus fields stop coming into play tapped and sacrificing lands, very big important thing, because that's kind of how we're building around our deck, but also Field of the Dead doesn't do anything anymore, so our opponent's scape shifting means literally nothing. You still get the enter the battlefield from the emblem, but you get nothing else from it, so we're going to be building around Blood Sun, and honestly, if you're putting 4 copies of Blood Sun in your deck, you might as well go with the Lotus Field. And if you're doing Lotus Field, well, then you've just built yourself a big ramp deck. So we're going to be playing a Hydra tribal list for this particular format shakeup, and it's been doing pretty well, actually. I finished off the event with it, and you know, most Scape Shift decks just fold to Blood Sun, so if you want to rush through this event, then 9 times out of 10 your matchup is going to be Scape Shift and Blood Sun shuts it down. Now, they do of course have the 3 Fairy to bounce enchantments, but if you have 2 Blood Suns out, that basically shuts that plan off entirely, short of, I guess, Deputy of Detention, but you know, we're going to be fighting against that. As far as our removal's concerned, we just have 3 copies of Lava Coil and 3 Flame Sweeps. The rest is going to come into the form of creature fighting. So Voracious Hydra is our first Hydra. 2 green and an X for a 0/1 with Trample. Enters with X+1/+1 counters on it, and then when it enters the battlefield, you get to choose either doubling the number of counters on Voracious Hydra, which is going to be quite a lot. I should probably go through the actual combo. This deck is a 3-card combo between Blood Sun, Kiora, and Lotus Field. So Lotus Field enters as a 3-mana land, so we properly ramp with this card. Normally we would be sacrificing lands to put this into play, but with the Blood Sun, it just comes into play untapped, and we're allowed to add 3 mana with it. What we can then do, using our Lotus Field, is untap it using Kiora, which is a 3-mana Planeswalker with 7 loyalty, very important as well for another card included. Whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card, and then you get to pay 1 to untap target permanent. So that means that Kiora and Lotus Field together with Blood Sun can also add 6 mana per turn. So we can put that into any of our X spells. We've got the Voracious Hydras. As I mentioned, these ones can put counters on themselves, or they can fight creatures, which is quite important. And then we have Hydra Crisis to draw cards equal to half of X. Bioessence Hydra, as I mentioned, has an interaction with the loyalty here, so enters equal to number of loyalty counters on our Planeswalkers, and then whenever loyalty counters are put on Planeswalkers, it also gets buffed. So this usually ends up being like a 5-mana 20-something a lot of the time, which is kind of cool. It could also be a 2-mana 20-something with Gargos Vicious Watcher as well. 6 mana for an 8/7. This is the Hydra Lord, as it were. Vigilance. Hydra spells cost 4 less to cast. I always forget about that, so forgive me in the comment section below. Don't bother mentioning it. I already know. I miss it a few times. Whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell, Gargos Vicious Watcher fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. So this is another form of removal. And it also says whenever it becomes the target of a spell. So, you know, we could just Lava Coil our own thing to make Gargos fight something. That kind of thing is the interaction we want to go for. So if we need something a little bit more powerful than 4 damage, then obviously we want to Lava Coil our big Bioessence Hydra, or our big Hydra, something that can't be removed in response anyway, and get that 8 power in, so it really upgrades our Lava Coils. The rest of it's just ramp package, though. We got our Boreal Grazer, which is an auto-include in this format. I would challenge you to find many non-green decks in this format, because there barely are any. because probably of Arboreal Grazer is exactly the reason, and Scapeshift, of course. But yeah, a 0/3 with reach. When it enters the battlefield, you put a land from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. Also have Llanowar Elves as well, so we can ramp into all of our 3-drops, which is very important because we want Kiora down as soon as possible so we can start untapping lands and ramping. Nissa, as well as a ramp source, can also make lands into 3/3s, can also use it to untap lands as well, which is pretty sweet. And yeah, that's essentially the deck. Flame Sweeps and Blood Suns are going to be our Scapeshift hate. The rest is just going to be our creature-based hate. And hopefully we make some really big creatures that our opponent can't deal with. So without further ado, before we get into the games, I hope you guys enjoyed our deck tech. If you do enjoy the rest of the video though, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for some more content like this in the future. It greatly helps out the channel. But without further ado, let's get into the games and I'll see you there. Alrighty then, we're in, and we've got ourselves a turn 2 Kiora. I'm not too pleased about the double Arboreal Grazer, but I imagine we can do something fun with that. And we even have Gargosh. Let's do it. Let's do this thing. We hit Nissa, so we only paid 1 on our shock, which is pretty decent. And yep, we'll just go with the Grazer, put a land into play. See if we can hit more lands. It's always nice, right? Stuck in my hand. And another drain. Alright, so far so bad. But if we draw a Lotus Veil off the top, then we can play that, and then Kiora's pretty sweet. Other than that though, well, not Lotus Veil, Lotus Field. So let's just float our mana, play a Llanowar Elves, and play Lotus Field. Hopefully get a land. Hey! Would you look at that? Alright, so we sack 2 lands. It's going to be the Hinterland Harbour and the Breeding Pool. And then we get to play our Arboreal Grazer, and even put a Breeding Pool into play, and get another land. Cool, so it feels like we've basically done nothing to our mana base, except for taste the sweet victory of it. Alright, opponent made their land drop, and plays a land. Or discards the land, sorry. Alright, from here, I think what we want to do is play Sulphur Falls, see what we trigger, and then play Kiora off of the non-Lotus Field lands, so that we can then go green, untaps the Lotus Field, and yeah, let's play Gargos, draw a card, and a Blood Sun. Doesn't look like the matchup where Blood Sun will be relevant, but if we draw further Lotus Fields, then of course it does help us. So it's not just a shutdown of the deck that I expect to be in this meta all the time, but still will maybe help. It'll shut down Field of Ruin for whatever that's worth. Stops them hitting our non-basics, I guess. Alright, well, we definitely want to just make some big stuff. So let's go with tap, untap, and I think we just want to go with a big Hydroid Crisis, so let's just get all that green in the pool. And what is it, X7? Seems decent. X7. Oh, bugger, Gargos. I forgot about that. Hydra spells cost 4 less to cast, so we could have actually done it in X11 with Gargos. But yeah, we managed to stomp our opponent anyway, so who cares? Oh! Do you guys know what this is? This right here? I'll show you what this is. Let's join the Salt Train. By the way, finish the event, cool. And we're just going to keep playing in it. Let's head on over to the Mastery Pass, shall we? And let's look at this bottom of the tree, the tree that I paid for. I just unlocked a Mythic card reward. Except for it wasn't a Mythic card, it was my 6th in a row, 40 gems. Yay! Awesome! Love it. 6 for 6. By the way, I've got plenty of Mythics that I could be unlocking, but gems is just tilting enough. But yeah, moving on. Oh my, we're in. And we don't really have the hand that I'm looking for, but can I just take this anyway? We got a little bit of interaction for turn 2. Blood Sun. I guess. I'm not too excited about it. I mean, I could see an argument for mulling as well. Just as easy, but Azorius Guildgate looks to me like we're up against a Scapeshift deck, so get wrecked, as the kids say. I have a Blood Sun. Alright. We get ourselves a token to start interacting with our opponent a little bit. Now the question becomes, what kind of Field of the Dead deck is it? Is it the Bant version with Teferi? Is it the Golosh version that is 5 color? It's definitely Scapeshift. And it's definitely not the Sultai version, we know that much. So let's just get in for one. What we want is to find another Blood Sun, so that if they do have Teferi, if it is the Bant version... I'm just going to put a land in the bin, right? Yeah, I like my cards. Put the non-forest in the bin. Yeah, if they do have a 3 fairy, then we can still have a Blood Sun in play even after they mine us with it. A Rejuvenator. There's Field of the Dead. And Grow from the Ashes to the bottom. It's got a Kiora. Well, I'm just going to take the opportunity to Blood Sun, I think. Ooh, Lotus Veil. Yeah, definitely. That's a really good top deck for us. So we shut off all land abilities. So Field of the Dead is offline. For now, at least. Then we get to play Lotus Field, which comes into play untapped. Yeah, I'm hating on you, opponent. I am hating on you. Comes into play untapped, so we've got 9 mana to work with. Oh, 9 mana if we go with Kiora. So we play Lotus Field, we tap for 3, play Kiora, untap that land, and then we get to play a 6 mana spell, which I think, did we have Gargos in hand? That was probably going to be what I played. So that my future Hydras would be 4 mana cheaper, in addition to the hyper ramp that we did. Good stuff. Alright, well, next game. Okay, we're in, and we have the turn 1 Grazer or Llanowar Elves, depending on how I feel, into turn 2 Blood Sun, so absolutely gonna slap this one down. This hand slaps, as the kids say. I'm gonna play Llanowar Elves, I think, for that turn 2 Blood Sun. I just want the ability to just get that redraw out of the way. Sacred Foundry for our opponent. Alright, so we are not up against Field of the Dead for once in our lives. But they do discard to hand size, because land reveals land on turn 1. Does mean discard. Rebecca Gay Plains. Nice if you actually chose that. You prove. Honestly, I don't see the reason to go for the Blood Sun anymore. I think we'll just go with the Llanowar Elves and the Arboreal Grazer, putting into play Breeding Pool, tapped. And if it would have revealed land, we would have played that one tapped as well, but in this case, we're just gonna play one of our other tap lands. So we've got 2 mana, or 3 mana left over after we Blood Sun, if we should want to do that. It stops our lands from being shock lands, for whatever that's worth. Yeah, let's just play Gargos. How about that? Gargos, an 8/7 with Vigilance. Good luck, opponent, getting past that. They're going to need double Lava Coil, which at this point they can't cast. That was a Goblin Banneret. Cool. I want more land, more sleeves like this. Some cool sleeves. Alright, well, block. And I think we go for the Flame Sweep first, because we want our opponent to block with the Challenger. Yep, cool. Alright, this deck's pretty sweet. This one's doing its thing. Alrighty then. Tapland City, but we're on the draw. Can I take this one? think maybe we can get away with it. We could maybe still get a turn to Kiora. Or a, well, it'd be a turn 3 Kiora if we're going tap lands, but if we draw a shock land here, then we can play Llanowar Elves. Looks like we're up against mono red. Oh no, we're up against Cavalcade. Alright. Still, same difference really. Yeah, let's just do tap land go. We can't play these untapped until after this turn, so let's go with just the Rootbound Craig that they know about. Yeah, we can stop our opponent from attacking at least a little bit with our Llanowar Elves. I'll happily chump since we got the Kiora down at the exact time we need anyway. I'd love to see a Lotus field so we can get Blood Sun down and get value out of that. Also, Kiora gets extra value that way, and then Gargos should probably just close out the game at that point. Alright, well, land reveals. I'm hoping for, like, drains or 1/1s here. It feels to me like Cavalcade's pretty good in this format. Like, it kind of gets shut down by your opponent making plant tokens, but at the same time, you're pretty likely to do it yourself, so all the more 1/1s for Cavalcade. I'm surprised that this is, like, the first time I've seen it, actually, and I'm all the way up at, like, 8 wins now in this format. I've seen a lot of mono-red. People have been just mono-redding, because why try, you know? Landfall Satchel makes a 1/1. Please do not show me Cavalcade. That means that they've got double Cavalcade in hand. And we have nothing right now. I need, like, not Blood Sun, sorry, Flame Sweep. Yeah, we're just dead. We're just dead. We've drawn horribly. Horribly, I do say. Well, do what we can. Well, whatever we can is not good enough. Meh. Here comes Cavalcade. Makes a million triggers. Really? No Cavalcade. There will be an all attack here though, no doubt. Yeah, because it's already a lot of damage anyway. And I do get to play Gargos next turn, but he doesn't have Breach. So do I take the damage? 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm just gonna die. I think that's maybe my only out is getting some Llanowar Elf value. Are you really gonna shock my Llanowar Elves? Oh my. Going for face. Alright. Yeah, they just have all the burn in the world. So yeah, just hit me to death. Cool. Dead no matter what I decided to do. Never saw our Flame Sweeps. I think our Flame Sweeps would have helped quite a fair bit there, just getting rid of all the 1/1s. But they had a pretty nutty hand all the same, even without the Cavalcade there. They just had everything they needed. Yeah, well, next game. Alrighty then, turn 2 Kiora with removal. I'm gonna keep this one. Just need to find Blood Suns, probably. Alright, shock ourselves, see what we draw. It's another land. Okay, well, our Boreal Grazer. We'll just put another land into play. The one they know about, since we don't actually need the blue right now. Get a drain? Yeah, get a plant. Okay. I kind of like the idea of the drain on, like, shocking yourself. Because then it's only a 1-mana shock, and therefore these aren't terrible anymore. That's a Temple of Triumph. My opponent is not interested in playing fast. A Danto Vanguard against the format that puts 1/1s out constantly. Good luck with that. Alright, well. Breeding Pool untapped. Not much thought put into this card, clearly. Drain you. Get a Kiora down, and we'll just put another Boreal Grazer down to block the Vanguard until the end of time. Maybe even make another 1/1 to block Vanguard. Yeah, playing Dreadhorde Butcher, very bad ideas. All around.
Nature flows.
And, well, let's go with the Grazer. I mean, we can't really fight the Vanguard and kill it, but we can put plenty of stuff in the way that makes it not matter. Make our opponent pay 4 life. There's a Lotus Field. Good lord, that's going to be good. Can I get a Blood Sun? That'd be nice. You always like to find the Blood Sun first before you find your Lotus Fields, but... you know, we'll take this. This works for me. If they can't kill Kiora, they're going to be in big trouble. There's a Shock. Drains us. And Gideon Blackblade. Alright then.
At your service.
Give it what? Indestructible?
I will lend you my strength.
Yeah, cool. They'd have to pay the 4 life, but they still have to deal with lots and lots of stuff. If they attack, then we're obviously going to block with the Arboreal Grazer, because then we get left with a 1-1 that can attack Gideon. Keeping him off that -6 is pretty important. Just long enough for us to get this Hydroid Crisis out for X a million. So yeah, just chomp. We don't even really need to be honest, but honestly, these Arboreal Grazers are doing nothing else except for blocking damage, so I'm fine with that. There's Blood Sun. Alright, better lucky than good. Let's go with Blood Sun to shut off the abilities of all of our lands. Shuts off the Scry on the Temple of Triumph. So we're kind of doing our opponent a favour there, but at the same time we're also kind of killing our opponent here. What do we hit? I'm looking for like Drain or a plant token. Another Lotus Field is disgusting. Alright, well. Tap. Tap. Untap. We're just going to go for a Hydroid Crisis. We could wait a little bit, but I think it's just greedy to do that.
Let's get moving.
Blue, and we've got X5. Out of Lava Coil range for our opponent, and puts our Hydroid Crisis smack bang on our opponent's Gideon loyalty as well, so yeah. I think we win now. So we hit them with a plant token, takes him down to 4, he ticks up to 5, Hydroid Crisis kills him. Seems decent. We have spare Kiora, we have an extra Lotus Field, we just need a big spell now, we can play another Blood Sun. That would be a Feather to the bottom. Playing Boros Feather, actually. Huh. I thought this would be Boros Aggro. What's Feather doing in this match, in this format? I just noticed that this thing's got, like, shaky little bits of fabric. Kind of looks three-dimensional from here. Okay. Well, chomp. We don't want to block with the Hydroid Crisis, because if they've got a Shock or literally any burn spell, then we lose our Hydroid Crisis and they get to keep their Gideon. So they're basically trading off a burn spell for a Gideon, which is very good value, of course. But I still think we're in a pretty decent position. We don't honestly care too much about our Kiora. If they did have said burn spell, they can fire it off all they want and we'll just replace our Kiora again. It almost effectively just costs 1 mana to put her down into play anyway. And she's not exactly drawing us lands anytime soon. Or drawing us cards. Alright, well. Let's kill Gideon. They've only got 1 red mana, so short of them having, like, sacrifice an attacking creature. Yep, good stuff.
I tried my best.
Let's play Lotus Field. See what we hit. Lava Coil, so we drain. Let's play another Blood Sun, I think, for a redraw, because we can't make Kiora draw cards here, so we need a good reason to play Kiora, and that's a great reason to play Kiora. Alright, well. Kiora. untap the Lotus field and start floating some green. Ooh, I can smell a barbecue outside, guys. God, I could really go do with a barbecue. What are we doing? 7, 6, 5. So, Voracious Hydra, and we're just going to double its power. Opponent can't really take care of a 6 toughness creature at instant speed. We get to draw a card off Kiora, and we get to make a 10-11. With Trample, I might add. Oh boy. It's just getting a whole lot worse for you, opponent. How do you beat this? Yeah, this deck seems pretty well situated in the Landfall event. Shuts down Scapeshift by default, which is absolute nonsense that they didn't ban it in the first place. So basically everything has to beat Scapeshift. And yeah, it seems to have a decent matchup against aggro, because we can also just make creatures that our opponent can't burn out of the way. And yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Alrighty then. Oh, excuse me. Alright then, we're in. And we got a turn 3 Blood Sun or a turn 3 Kiora, depending on the matchup. Both of these are pretty decent into Voracious Hydra. We just need a Lotus Veil with his hand and we're good to go. Alright, cool. Thank you, Bonfire, for the follow, by the way. That just popped up midway between matches, so appreciate that. I forgot that I had all my stream stuff still turned on. Alright. We get a plant token, not the end of the world. Gives it a little bit of pressure, I suppose, or something to block with. Gruul, Guildgate, and a Blast Zone. I guess it could be Gates. It's always a possibility, right? Let's just play our land. Reveal the top, it's a land. Okay, I'm fine with that. We are kind of a big mana deck, as it were, so if we can get there, that's pretty sweet. So the question becomes, do I actually want to go with the Blood Sun plan or the Kiora plan? Now, if it's Gates, I don't really want to be playing Blood Sun, because I want them to have all the tap lands in the world. Yeah, it looks like Gates. They could be Gate Shift, and in which case I do want to play the Blood Sun. Alright, cool. That made my decision much easier. Let's have a look-see. We get a Drain. And shut off the Field of the Dead. Rip. Alright. Pass the turn. See what they can do. So yeah, we really do want a Lotus Veil Knight now. It's an extra 3 mana on top of playing a Kiora as well. So all of the lands are now untapped. But they don't do anything thanks to Blood Sun. We probably want another Blood Sun to dodge maybe 3 Fairy bouncing it. That would be pretty grim. But also, I guess I'd take a Flame Sweep for that reason as well. Okay, we got double drained. Yeah, we just know about 2 cards. Alright, because they went ahead and started their searching. Play Stomping Ground, see what we get. It's a drain. And there's no reason to actually tap or untap anything in this case, so let's just pass it up and we'll go for a big Voracious Hydra, which hopefully we can get to dodge. Yeah, great. Bounces Blood Sun.
Stand by and watch.
But they can't Scapeshift now. Maybe they can do, what can they do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They need some more unique lands to get that done. I need to be able to pressure Teferi Time Raveler, so this Voracious Hydra is going to have to come down pretty soon. Definitely for the time being, though, we want to go for the Blood Sun, because we do not want to allow our opponent even a turn to go for the Scapeshift plan. Entrancing Melody, eh? I guess that's a worrying card that we don't want to see. Ooh, double Blood Sun. Good stuff. Alright, I think double Blood Sun seems pretty decent. And a Flame Sweep seems amazing as well. So let's play a land. Grazer makes a plant. Untap the Steam Vents. And we'll just play another Blood Sun. That way, if they have another Teferi plus Scapeshift, they can't actually bounce and then Scape Shift. So we've really shut off Field of the Dead this way. I think like Cleansing Nova is really what they want to be looking for, but I don't think they'll have that in their deck. You don't see Nova too much these days. Plant token for our opponent. And yeah, we'll just see what we can do. I mean, we've got some big mana. I would love a Lotus Veil so I could actually get big ramp going with Kiora. Alright, well there's a Hydroid Krasis. So we can do an X5, I think, Voracious Hydra. I really do need Lotus Veil though off the top. Otherwise, maybe something like Gargos would be good. It's not meant to be. Alright, play our Shocklands. Lava Coil drains our opponent. So we can do, yeah, X5 on the Voracious Hydra. Guess that's what we're doing. Tap. Untap. X5. Tap it all. Make a 5/6, draws a card. And yeah, we can't really fight anything, so we're just going to double and hope we don't see that entrancing melody. And hopefully this is going to be good enough. It feels like it probably won't be though, unfortunately. Hydroid Krasis being their alternative win con, we really needed a bigger creature, which this deck's definitely capable of making that happen. But not today.
Nothing.
Alright. Gates Ablaze drains us to 11. And a Boreal Grazer putting another gate into play. I don't think they can ever kill a Voracious Hydra, though. So yeah, I think stealing's basically all we have to worry about. Nissa! Oh, Nissa, Nissa, Nissa! How goes it, my dear? Alright, well, play Rootbound Craig, see what we hit. Does that change the math, or do I have to go with a Voracious Hydra this way? So, let's tap all of our forests, or our non-forest green sources, to see how much mana we'd have left over. So, in order to cast Nissa, we'd be left with 4 mana here, plus an untap 6, 8. Yeah, we could play Nissa. This is a pretty good top deck. We then untap the Stomping Ground. Tap for green. Tap for green. Tap for green. And untap. Doesn't really matter, I don't think. We're tapping it anyway. Tap Breeding Pool. Or untap Breeding Pool.
Love to make a splash.
We got an X8. Which is decent. Go with an X6 Voracious Hydra. 1 point short, unfortunately, of fighting the Hydroid Krasis, so we're just going to go for the doubling instead and hopefully put our opponent on chump blocking duty. And Hydroid Krasis is really good. So, yeah, swing in. I think add to Fairy Time Raveler, since we can block the Hydroid Krasis later anyway. Where's our Boreal Grazers? Just for a little bit of chump blocking. Yeah, I don't want them bouncing my Hydra necessarily. I suppose if they want to do that, that's fine, right? Yeah, I suppose if they want to do that, we'd end up having a Voracious Hydra capable of killing the Hydroid Krasis anyway. So, Nissa's gonna die here, it seems. But we have a lot of damage now. A lot of trampling damage, and we can take about 6 points of it off with the Flame Sweep pre-combat. Growth Spiral. Well, it'd be 7 points actually, because we'd be killing the plant token as well. Hits a land. Plays a land. Gets a land. Dodging these drains is really good for us. That could be the one way that we lose this game, unfortunately. Alright, we're going to 4. Do they have any burn in hand? No, they do not. Okay, well, I think we win now. Alright, play... yeah, play Rootbound Craig. I think we just make the largest Hydroid Crisis the world has ever seen. Ooh, we can even go Arboreal Grazer to get a breeding pool into play. Yeah. I mean, we don't even need to Hydroid Crisis because I think we've just got lethal anyway. Untap the breeding pool that we just put into play.
Behold, nature's true power.
And if we Flame Sweep here, we take care of all but 1 damage. So let's assume that they just block the ones on here, blocking 6 points. They take 22, 23, 24, 25 damage. Yeah, let's just Flame Sweep them. And they're dead. Oh, sorry, actually, we lose our tokens, but still. Less blockers, more tramplers. Let's get on in. I guess we could have done it during combat. I don't think it makes any difference whatsoever, though. Not enough of a difference. Gates Ablaze at instant speed. Alright, well, they take 12. They take nothing. Alright, well. Stomping Ground. Untap. Breeding Pool, I guess. Make some blue. Green, green. And an X5 Hydroid Crisis. Instant speed. I knew there might have been a reason to hit that Teferi. But we got double Gates Ablaze out of them. And we know they just bottomed a Gates Ablaze. I'm pretty sure, yep. So there's only 1 left in the deck. They can only do it for 1, 2... Oh, sweet. We even get a redraw on the Hydroid Crisis. This is just getting better and better. Oh my. Tamio. And I guess they could go get a Hydroid Crisis. What do they want here? Maybe Entrancing Melody? Hydroid Crisis, okay. X5, 6, 7, 8. Must have made their land drop this turn. I think they made the land drop already, so... X8, draw 4. It's a nice number. And Gate Colossus. Not over. Ooh, Lotus Field. Maybe it is over. Maybe it is over. Alright, Rootbound Craig, play Arboreal Grazer to put Stomping Ground into play. Hit a Lotus Field. Okay, untap. I mean, we could get a lot of untaps off of the Lotus Veil and go for a really big Hydroid Crisis. If they ever steal it from us, though, with an Entrancing Melody, we're in big trouble. We know 1's at the bottom, but it's never just on its own, right? Tap. Untap.
Let's get moving.
Tap. I kind of want to have, like, a fight spell kind of creature coming in as well. I don't want to reveal my Lotus Veil to a Gates Ablaze or any other removal spells, so I don't want to untap it with Nissa. I'm just going to untap a Stomping Ground with it, I think. And then more green. A little bit of blue. More green. Bit of blue. All the green. Alright, X14. See what we can do with that. Let's draw 7 cards. Voracious Hydra, another Lotus Field. Draw a card from that. Let's get rid of pretty much just the lands. Llanowar Elves seem pretty dead now. Sulphur Falls. Steam Vents. And Steam Vents. Keeping them going, eh? Alright, well, get rid of all the non-Lotus Field lands. See what we can do from there. Well, now I'm not so afraid of revealing my Lotus Fields on Nissa. Golos, Tireless Pilgrim. Alright. And a Growth Spiral. We know they can hit a land. No surprises there. Uh-huh. And ticks up for some instant speed shenanigans. All attack. Interesting. Well, let's just chump there. Guess we just block there. Do we want to kill the Hydroid Crisis? I think we want to block as much damage as possible. And we can't block Gate Colossus with a Arboreal Grazer. Because this looks a bit suspicious to me. Like maybe they've got some more damage that I'm not seeing. So I just want to get rid of as much damage as possible. Gates ablaze. Looks like they just want me to block then. Okay. How many cards have I got left? 25. And that's what we know about. Guild Summit. Opponents on 18 of their cards. Yeah, I don't think they want to be drawing any more cards. Alright. So they can put Gate Colossus back on top. Where's my Gargos? I think I would like a Gargos. It should be very useful. Alright. Yeah. Gate Colossus goes right to the bottom of the deck. I've been had by this emblem, to be honest. It looks very useful with scries, but a lot of the time you end up just punting your way out of a good spot. X5 Hydroid Crisis. And we draw a Hydroid Crisis. Well, let's get the Lotus Field down. Hit a land. Okay. So, where do we want to go with this? Do we want to draw loads of cards? I guess we do. I don't know if we want to draw all the cards, though. So we do still want to be able to cast things after a Hydroid Crisis, I think. So let's tap for green. Let's untap the Lotus Field.
The land shall conquer you.
Tap for green. Blue. How many cards do we want to draw? That's the question we ask ourselves. So if I was to do this now, I guess I would want to do that. That's an X10. That would leave me with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana left over. Which allows me to do like Kiora, big Hydroid thing. Yeah, let's do it like that. X10. I don't want to mill myself either. So use all the floating mana. Huh. Those aren't ideal. Okay, well, a Flame Sweep and a Lava Coil kills Hydroid Crisis, but so does Voracious Hydra. So we want to go green, green, green. How much left leave us with? 4, 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7. Pay for that. Draw a card, and we'll fight the Hydroid Crisis, I think. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Yeah, we'll fight the Hydroid Crisis. Fight that. Block her out the way. There's Gargos, and we'll dump the Breeding Pool, and the Breeding Pool, and the Blood Sun, and the Blood Sun. And the spare Kiora, and we got 2 Flame Sweeps. I'll get rid of 1 Flame Sweep. Alright. We really don't ideally want to be losing all of our all of our cards to discard, but it is what it is sometimes. How many, it's not going to tell me how many I've got left in my deck. I'm kind of curious how many lands I've got left. Guess I might have to do the math on that one. So I'm wondering how relevant ulting Nissa is, really, because it's an option available to us. I guess it's indestructible permanence to block Gate Colossus for life. We don't lose to that Gates Ablaze that's somewhere in that pile. Going for the Gates Ablaze minus, okay. They had an instant speed interaction to do that. I think maybe they got ahead of themselves there, or maybe they just want to, resolve some stuff. Does Golos have anything left to search in the 9 cards you've got left? It does. Alright. We're at 11. So we have a huge Bioessence Hydra. We can Gargos and we can fight Golos. Gargos fight Golos. Sounds good. So we definitely... I suppose... I was going to say we definitely don't want them activating, but 8 cards left. What can they really do at the end of the day? So, play Lotus Field. Best land in our deck. I don't think we're going to ult Nissa. I don't see the real reason to do that, honestly. It's just a matter of... how do we want a Hydra? And I think... let's go Bioessence Hydra. Enters with counters equal to the number of loyalty counters on our Planeswalkers, and then whenever loyalty counters are put on Planeswalkers, you get to put that many on the Bioessence Hydra. So what we can do then is kill our Kiora by untapping Lotus Field. Just play another Kiora, which is 7 counters. 21 total. And yeah, we'll play Gargos. And we will Lava Coil our Gargos. Actually, can we do it on a creature you control? Yep, sure. Hit our Bioessence Hydra, who then Golos fights. Get rid of that, since that's the least likely to get destroyed. And then we can go Lotus Field untapped. Game is freaking out right now. Green, blue, green. Untap Lotus Field, which pumps up the Bioessence Hydra. And we go an X6 Hydroid Crisis. Yeah, we can get away with that. Oh no, I keep forgetting about the Gargos mana. It's alright. We can use some of it on Llanowar Elves. Draw a card. Another Gargos. Alright, we could just play Gargos for free, but there's no real reason to do that. Just gonna play Llanowar Elves and yeah, pass it up. Yeah, I always forget about the extra 4 on the Gargos. I kind of run it as an 8/7 that can fight things. But yes, it's definitely an option. So they bounce Bioessence Hydra.
Let's try this.
Cool. We don't exactly struggle to play a 2-drop, whatever it is. Wow. Gates Ablaze again. We're on 6 cards though. We can't play any more Hydroid Crisis, but it's a good job we don't have any. We did lose our Lotus Field, but we have another one in hand as well. Let's see what we can do. They draw a card. Entrancing Melody goes to the bottom, which means that that card is not going to be useful anytime soon. We do have to be very careful with how we play around with that kind of thing, though. The last thing we want is our opponent to steal it and kill us with it. And the gate dude goes to the bottom as well. It's Fairy Time Raveler. Very nice. We just can't kill that Teferi Time Raveler.
I'll protect you.
I mean, do we even keep playing anything at this point? Do we want our opponent to bounce our stuff? I guess we could play Gargos, but... No, now we have to do something. X5. Yeah, like, the Entrancing Melody is only going to take creatures that we don't want them to take. So we could just do, like, Flame Sweep Lava Coil. Right here. They can only minus the Tamiyo. If they take Gates Ablaze, we just don't have to play anything. So what do they even take here? Golos is bad. Could take another Teferi, but that's bad. Yeah, there isn't a good minus for Tamiyo here. And the tick-up will kill them. So yeah, take Gates Ablaze. We're just going to kill the Hydroid Crisis so they've got nothing left. And we drew our Boreal Grazer. Okay, so... Lava Coil Graces. By the way, we got a plant token, so we can block. Lava Coil Graces and then Flame Sweep the rest away. And I guess we could ult our Nissa since we're not going to use it. Let's go searching. I don't even know if we've got anything left.
When the land speaks,
no.
I shall listen.
But our lands are indestructible now, which is cool. So, Flame Sweep. 2 damage to Krasis. And Coil Krasis. Shut you off. And yeah, just pass. I could play a land, I suppose. Off of the Arboreal Grazer. What's that worth to me? I guess it's better than nothing. I don't really care about this getting Gates Ablaze nor the plant token that comes off of it, but they're both upsides. So let's just go Steam Vents into play. Revealing a Drain. Good. It's the best outcome for us. And just pass. So they've got a dead Gates Ablaze in their hand. Drawing a dead Entrancing Melody. Sorry about the people dying outside, guys. Doesn't happen very often, but, you know, it is what it is, I suppose. Bounces a Blood Sun. Draws a card. If they draw another card, they lose. So how do you want to go about this? Got him. Hang on. Hang on.
Got him!
He's done it. Alright, we even got a pack to end it all with. Wonderful. Let's go and do that, shall we? Core Set 2020. Open them up. And we have a rare wild card. Alright, I'll take it. By the way, this is probably one of my favourite pieces of artwork from M20. What a little cutie, am I right? I am right. Don't question me. I'm very right. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. This deck has been pretty decent against pretty much everything our opponent's been playing. It's got a decent aggro matchup because we just make big things that they can't get through and basically set up like a one-turn kill kind of deal. We're definitely good against any Field of the Dead shenanigans, which is just going to be rampant in this format. So if you're not running a Field of the Dead deck, you want to be running one that hates on it. That would be my advice, but also something that doesn't just like purely hate on it, because things like that do end up just dying to every off-meta deck at that point. But, you know, this one's pretty decent all the same. It's a lot of fun to pilot, so I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for some more content like this in the future. If you enjoy this enough, I'll be back with another brand new deck, but time will tell. We'll see. Thanks very much for watching, though, guys, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.